solution
Oh.
to bad light?
Well, look, I've tried to come up with something, because you were quite agreeably, understandably grumpy last night about the light again. We've had it for a while, haven't we? Well, we've had it for years, if we're honest. I remember Fred Truman and Trevor Bailey trunching on about it when I first started doing this. 2:21 for 5. Thakur bowls on off stump, and Root comes carefully forward, plays out to cover. Well, I just thought about things last night, really. What can we do? That's safety, really, isn't it? You know, how can you play in poor light safely? And I don't like the idea of changing the ball, because the ball is the ball that you've got, and there'll be arguments about it. And I think you should play with a ball that you changing it to a pink one. So I know it's possible, but that wouldn't work for me unless you had, I don't know, your own pink ball or something. But then it needs to age. Turned away down towards square leg by Root. He'll pick up one more. It needs to age, doesn't it? It needs to age with the game. So who chooses the ball? I can just see there being ructions about that.
What about just start with a pink ball?
Oh, play the whole thing with a pink ball? I'm not sure how durable are they at the moment.
Well, all I said, try and get the manufacturers around the world to make a better pink ball if the ones that we're using at the minute aren't quite as durable as you're suggesting.
But can you see it easier? I don't think spectators see it easier.
I think you do. I like the pink ball. Anyway, what's your solution?
Oh, well, it's been sort of, I wouldn't say roundly condemned. Because Thakur bowls, and that's played by Root down to mid-off. It didn't quite get the backing that I hoped when I unveiled it to Michael Holding and Kumar Sangakkara this morning.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't say it was ridiculed, but they listened, perhaps just politely, for a moment. But no, the BS theory.
BS?
Yeah, bad light scheme. Was simply to try and keep some safety in it. And apologies if you have heard this before out there in listener land, but in goes Thakur, bowls outside the off stump. But Michael obviously didn't hear it. I'm interested in your thoughts. Okay, so at the point in which the umpires would normally go off, they've got their light meters, and it's the umpire's decision these, isn't it? Off they go. Right, we're thinking about safety, but playing more safely in bad light. So they make a gesture to the scorers, all right, and at that point you go into bad light scheme mode. Okay, so BS comes up on the scoreboard in big letters. Everyone knows.
Any sirens go off?
No sirens. No. You're now playing under BS conditions.
Okay.
In which fast bowlers can bowl one ball that would normally be one for the over. One short hostile delivery. They've got one.
Okay, so you can only bowl one bouncer.
When playing in BS.
Yep.
That's Bumrah. From the pavilion end, moves in, bowls, Root waiting for impact raised, turns into the leg side, there's no run. So he's got one short one.
Yep.
If he bowls another one, he's off until you go into normal regulations again. He can't bowl again in BS. He's got one. The thing is, you've got maybe 4 fast bowlers out there, and you could bowl 2 to get yourself off. Well, the point of that being that the batsman knows that there's a chance he might get a short one, so he can't just go lobbing forward and smash the ball around in BS. He knows there is a short one around. And say with 4 quick bowlers, here's Bumrah and bowls, it's played away into the offside. So that's my thought, that you can still have enough hostility about the cricket, but not sort of a sustained danger. So that would be my thought. And therefore, if you bowl one in BS, that's it. If you bowl another, off straight away.
And realistically, in BS, it's going to be that you're going to be pitching the ball up more because it's dark and lights are on, so you're not going to really want to bowl the bouncer.
No, you're not. But the batsman needs to know that actually he might get one. It's Bumrah again. From the pavilion end is there, and he bowls, and Root looks to steer this down to gully, which he does, and picks up a run too, because Pujara's down there on the boundary. So one more to England's captain. 92 now, Butler on 8. 2:23 for 5.
Why Kumar Sangakkara and Michael Holland, why did they kind of...
Well, because they sort of got the idea of it, but then Kumar said, what happens with that second one that they bowl if he basically hits the batsman in a bad way, knocks his head, injures him badly, maybe a career ender, when you've accepted the fact that you're in BS, so therefore that the light isn't very good, you get a lawyer on the case. And that could be that. In comes Bumrah and bowls outside the off stump and whistles past the outside edge of Butler. Doesn't take the edge though. Punt collects it, 223 for 5. So in these litigious times, how do you get around that?
Well, it's difficult.
It is.
But do you really think it'd ever get to that stage?
Where a batsman would sue the authority for playing in conditions that they know are not perfect. Get a good lawyer on the case. Bumrah bowls wide of the off stump, cracked away square. Nice shot from Butler, had to reach for it. He certainly hit it hard enough.
Danger signs here for India. He's looking in the mood, Joss Butler.
Well,
the problem I have with the light is that we know, and we've seen many times where light comes in and it genuinely is difficult. And it generally is harder. And you think, it's just not fair on the team that's batting.
Yep.
But I think over the last year or so in English conditions, we've seen teams go off in light. You go, really?
Yep.
It's not dangerous. There's not been balls that fizz past the nose end or past the outside edge on a regular basis.
Bumrah bowls short this time. Butler on the back foot. Doesn't time a forcing shot which trickles out to point.
A perfect example was just 2 nights ago where Rishabh Pant came out to bat.
Yep.
Jimmy Anderson, one of the greatest to ever have played the game. He dances down to him and whacked him over extra cover to get off the mark, and an over too late, we're off.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find a way in which it is
I like
safer.
BS. I like
BS?
Yeah, I like BS. Yeah.
There'll be some sort of signal.
Yeah.
And then we're playing under BS conditions, the umpire would say.
I like the fact that the BS is going to be on the big screen.
On the big screen.
So
you can't have BLS, it wouldn't fit. It can only be bad light scheme. So BS.
BS, yeah, I like it.
Flashes on there and everyone knows.
Andy, do you like it? Andy likes anything that just means... Well, he likes anything that just gets the game on and playing.
You've got to do something. Yeah. But then the bowler has got something up his sleeve and the batsman knows that he has.